and could be all yours. But you need to get your ticket now before we sell out again. You don't want to miss your chance at this dream home.
I was having a conversation on my way into work this morning with my husband about our daughter who's 18 and the fact that when you're young, you can't imagine that you'll ever turn 30, much less 50 or 60. I guess that's just kind of a natural thing of life. So if you're watching the show this morning and you're already in your 50s, you're probably thinking, well, I'm never going to really be 75. But the truth is you're going to be, and we never know what kind of life circumstances can come our way. So all that lead in is to establish our next guest, because Melissa Reef is here. It's been a while since we've seen her, but she is with Ascension Living at Home. And next to her are Dr. Martin and Carol Davis, who are proud members, as you call them, Melissa. Right. Very, very happy to champion the experience that y'all have had with Ascension Living at Home. So nice to have you all three.
Thank you.
It is true, right? You never think it's going to happen to you.
No, never.
And then it happens to you.
It does.
So can I set your story up to kind of get us started, Martin?
Sure.
You told me that y'all chose to move back home to Chattanooga in the wonderful year of 2020.
We made the plans in 2018 to start in January 2020, and I was here that week of March 2020 when everything shut down.
The world stopped, and then life threw you another spin, because after remodeling your house, you found out you had to have a hip replacement.
Yes, literally 6 weeks after getting the bathroom remodeled is when I had the surgery.
So somehow or other, because of your Chattanooga background and your parents' involvement with this, you already kind of knew that you wanted to have the Ascension Living at Home. So explain how it works and how that benefited you with your hip.
Well, Carol and I are people who like to prepare, and as you said, you don't like to think about getting old, but you know it's going to happen. At least you kind of hope it's going to happen, right?
Yeah, yeah, right.
As opposed to the alternative. So we had discussed back in the middle 2015, 2016 what we were going to do, and we decided we would move back to Chattanooga for a variety of reasons. And one of those parts of that decision was to contact Live at Home and say, are we eligible? Can we join? We knew what they would be able to do for us, which was help us with doctor recommendations, especially coming back into the area after being gone for 28 years. Help us stay in the home as long as we could, like meal preparation, housekeeping, transportation to medical appointments, physical therapy, that kind of stuff. Again, just didn't expect to need it within a year, literally, of moving back.
Right.
But I'm awfully glad we did.
So, I mean, Melissa, you hear these stories all the time, and you're talking to people, and getting them to pull that trigger can sometimes be the difficulty, because it is important to act early.
Live at Home is very similar to a long-term care insurance, and so many times people come to us after they already need help, and unfortunately they may not be eligible. So Dr. Davis and Carol, they joined prior to needing help. So I encourage everyone to call us, look us up online, and really reach out before that need occurs, so you have a plan in place.
Okay, so can I ask you a few questions? Because
Sure.
when you compare it to long-term health insurance, I mean, this is an insurance policy, essentially. That's what you're doing, right? You're kind of protecting yourself.
It's very similar.
Very similar. So is the membership cost, for lack of a better term, dependent on your life circumstances when you come in?
Your enrollment fee, your monthly fees, everything is based on your age when you come in. So the earlier you come in, the more affordable the program is versus waiting. So waiting will cause the price to increase, in addition to you may not be eligible.
Okay. Something that we realize every time we talk to somebody from Ascension Living is just how vast it is. I mean, you've got Alexian Village up on the mountain, you have this, you've got the memory care, all of it. But my understanding is that you don't have to be affiliated ahead of time. In other words, if you have a stroke, you can rehab at Alexian up on the mountain.
That's correct.
If they get the Live at Home with Alexian, can you still use whatever doctors you want?
Absolutely. Everything is still your choice.
Okay.
This service started 21 years ago with the idea of we need to be able to provide services for individuals that choose to still live in their home and may not want to ever move to Alexian Village. Or maybe they decide, oh, we would like to do that later in life, but we still want to be a part of this system because it's a true continuum of care.
Gotcha.
And that is, again, what, Carol and Martin, they joined early. and have been proactive to make sure that they have the care they need in place.
So let me ask you, Carol, I think a lot of people are kind of hesitant because it's awkward in the beginning to have somebody that you don't yet know coming into your home, but have you developed friendships now?
Well, we don't actually have services right now from Alexian.
Okay.
But I have observed, because my parents are both in their upper 90s, and we recently had to get care for them. And going out to a care management company and getting help to come in, my parents didn't like it. They didn't want to have anybody in. The people that came were very young and didn't have the work ethic that my mother was used to. And so we had to really work at getting somebody in. They now have mature people in there, but the work it took, I think it took us 6 months to get somebody that was willing to help and was somebody that my parents enjoyed.
Right.
And that's what people forget, because by the time, as Melissa said, by the time my parents needed help, they didn't want it because they don't want to admit that in their middle 90s that they're getting old.
Right.
And I think that's a lot of people's problem. But watching that go on made me realize that I want to get ahead of the game and set it up so that when I need it, it'll be there.
So if people call you, I know we're going to share a phone number I think that they can call, will they get you and you can kind of walk them through step by step what to do?
They will get myself or Colleen Combs, who is our sales director.
Okay.
And either of us can help you, and we can meet with you personally in your home or at our office.
Okay, so here's that information then for you to see. It's called Ascension Living at Home. 755-6142 is the phone number.
Yes.
If you want to go online, you can as well, ascensionliving.org. And then the LAHCHA is Live at Home Chattanooga. Thank you, all three.
Thank you.
The numbers are in, and the Markite team has helped more buyers and sellers than any agent, team, or group over the last 20 years. So in this